as the Premier League season starts just one day away for the 2020 to 21 campaign, and finally the Premier League score predictions are back. Hey! And I hope Wolves do have a really good season this year. Hey guys, Scott Holmes Football here, back with another video. And today's video is Premier League score predictions, game week 1 as the 2020 to 21 campaign of the season kicks off again, except if behind closed doors. But I must say, massive shout out to Sky Sport and BT Sport. It's a really kind gesture that all the games are going to be shown on Sky and BT. So some of them are on Sky, some of them are on BT. So let me just clarify before I get into the score prediction video. Two of the games you're gonna find that were supposed to be in the video have been called off. 2 of these games, so I won't be doing those 2 games, which were Manchester City versus Aston Villa and Burnley versus Manchester United. I think it's that thing for Manchester City and Man United. It's a 30-day break for them being in Europe. Something to do with how far you like getting the competition. But when are the games like going to be played? That's my point. Wolves had so many games and we didn't get such a long day off. Exactly, and we got such a small thin squad, so surely Man United and Man City can cope. So let's just get straight into the video then. Right, the first game is newcomers of the Championship, Fulham versus Arsenal. So it's like a London rivalry game. It's not really a derby, but both teams are like in London. So the newcomers of the Championship, Fulham, and the playoff winners of the Championship last season take on Arsenal's Mikel. So Fulham take on Arsenal's Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. So this would be quite an interesting game, and Arteta looking to really sort them out really. So, and Fulham are just really getting used to the Championship and stuff. The Premier League, I mean, they're just really getting used to the league. I know they've been in it before, and he came straight back up again. Came straight back up again. But for this game, I think they are going to lose, and I'm going to say it's going to be a win for Arsenal. I'm going to say Fulham 1, Arsenal 3. That is actually being quite kind of Fulham, to be honest. I think they will score. So right, on to the next game, which is Crystal Palace versus Southampton. Well, 2 solid teams that are good at giving each other a contest and are sort of on the same levels to each other. But I do actually sort of fancy Southampton slightly. But I do think this game's going to be a draw, because Crystal Palace could be in the danger of a relegation threat next season due to that awful 7-game defeats in a row last season when fans weren't allowed and then the season restarted. But I know they've got Eze in, so that's a really good signing. But we've got Zaha there at the moment and Ayew at top. So they're actually pretty decent. And Southampton side, Danny Ings did 22 goals last season, and you got a decent manager behind them. So I'm going to say Crystal Palace 1, Southampton 1. So right, on to the next game, which is champions of the Premier League last season, Liverpool, versus the newcomers of the Championship, newcomers of the Premier League, and champions of the Championship last season, Leeds United. This is set up for a huge clash. While Liverpool are sort of fancied favourites to start off to a really strong start, and Leeds United, well, they're going to start off really slow, aren't they? Because being a new team to the Premier League, and they haven't been in the Premier League for about 17 years. There's 16 years they haven't been in the Premier League. But I do think they're going to do really well this season in the Championship. But it's not going to be this game for them. So I am going to say Jurgen Klopp's men are going to win 2-0. And I think Liverpool 2, Leeds United 0. Right, on to the next game, which is West Ham United versus Newcastle United. Well, out of West Ham's schedule, and that they're sorely in for another relegation battle this season, and they haven't really signed anyone really. And I think over their tough schedule for the season, this is the only game where I think they can get points out of. For this is their season, they've got to get points out of that game, this game. And Newcastle United, it was supposed to get a takeover from the Saudi Arabian consortium, Amanda Staley's consortium, but they pulled out and it didn't go through in the end, which I thought had gone through. So nothing's not going to quite work out for Newcastle now, really. But this season they got Callum Wilson coming in and Ryan Fraser, two good signings from Bournemouth, and they need Callum Wilson and Ryan Fraser at top for their attack because they scored 38 goals last season, which is pretty poor. So for this game, I'm going to say West Ham United 1, Newcastle United 1. Two decent managers for each team, for each side. Right, on to the next game. The newcomers of the Championship, West Brom versus the team finishing in Europa League spots last season, Leicester City. Wow, two Midlands teams, except one is in the West Midlands, which is West Brom, and except one's in the East Midlands, which is Leicester City. Well, West Brom, I think they'll get off striking with a slow start, like all of these Premier Championship teams from last season coming up into the Premier League. And I think West Brom are going to struggle this season because they weren't exactly instantaneous in the Championship, really. And Leicester, I just think, I know they lost Ben Chilwell, they've been brought in one signing, but they are a very strong team, Leicester. So that's why I've predicted them to get off to a good start. I'm going to say West Bromwich Albion 1, Leicester City 2. So right, on to the next game, which is sorely the most dull and boring games of the first week of the season. It's Tottenham Hotspur, which I like to just ridicule Spurs, versus Everton. Well, Spurs have brought in a few signings. Hulsenberg from Southampton, Matt Doherty from my team Wolves, and Joe Hart on a free agent from Burnley. But I don't think that's good enough. I think the only good signing there is really Matt Doherty, and that is a class signing for them. He'll probably score against us, probably. I was going to say this was going to be more than 0-0 games on the first game week, but I am going to say this is going to be like a really close game when this, like the last season between Spurs and Everton. So I am going to say Spurs 1, Everton 0, because I do think Carlo Light needs time to sort out the squad, and they have actually brought in quite a few good players. They brought in James Rodriguez, Allen, and forgot the other one, but they got a lot of good signings in that team. And Carlo has got the best out of Dominic Calvert-Lewin when he came in last season. But I just think Spurs will nick it, as it's like just one game, and then Everton might really just need the time, really. I just saw my last score prediction. I'm predicting the table for the Premier League season and the finish. I did predict the mid-table in 10th. Upper mid-table, really. So right, on to the next game, which is Sheffield United versus my team Wolves. This game is sorely going to be a great game. Two teams that excel coming up from the Championship. And last time they did actually beat us 1-0. Sheffield United are a good team. They've brought in Jayden Bogle now. They brought in Jayden Bogle, I think, from Derby. I think I forgot they were playing now, which I'll just look at now. A quick look at it now. Jayden Bogle and just looking for it was Jayden Bogle. He gone to Sheffield United on a free agent. I'm just looking for the other signing for Sheffield United now, so just bear with me. Which is Max Lowe. Max Lowe from Derby alongside Jayden Bogle from both of the same clubs. And also the other signing is not really a permanent signing, it's a loan signing from Chelsea. Ethan Ampadu. Hardly played at Leipzig last season, his loan spell there. But that might strengthen up their team slightly. What I like about Sheffield United, they're always trying to strengthen up their squad, even though they're like doing really well. But for this, and Wolves, we've brought in a few players. We've brought in Fabio Silva now. We've brought in Fabio Silva. We expected to sign a number 1 on loan shortly. I think we might have already done it, so you bear with me again. Really, I said no, really off by heart, really, because they are like my team at the end of the day, but we all like forget things. Yeah, we have made that signing yesterday, you've remembered. We brought in Fabio Silva from Porto, and Fernando Marcel from Lyon, and we brought in Vitinha from Porto on a loan deal. So for this game, I am going to say Sheffield United 1, Wolves 1. Right, on to the final game of the video. Brighton and Hove Albion versus Chelsea. Brighton, I sort of think they're going to be in the relegation scrap, even though they are a good team, and I don't think they deserve to be down there most of the time. And with Chelsea, I think they're going to be challenging for the title this season. I don't think they'll win it, but they'll challenge Liverpool and Man City and be closer on points with them. And Liverpool and Man City won't be running away with it this year. Chelsea have brought in some fantastic signings in this window. I'll just go through all of the signings now. Some of them are world class, and some of these players are Champions League quality. They've brought in, I'll to go through all the signings now. They've brought in Hakim Ziyech from Ajax, Timo Werner from RB Leipzig. Who else had he brought in? I'm just looking now who else he brought in. Ben Chilwell from Leicester. Malang Sarr from Nice. Thiago Silva from PSG. Kai Havertz from Bayer Leverkusen, which have been the massive standout. So I think they're going to be more competitive next season. So for this game, I was going to say they were going to get a solid 2-0 victory, as these new players settling into the team. Well, I was actually going to say 3-0 now. I'm just not too sure what to go with. Yeah, I'm going to stick with 3-0 because you should always stick with your first instinct, even though I went 2-0 first. So I just stick to 3-0 now. Obviously, Manchester City versus Villa and Burnley versus Man United have been postponed, like I said at the start of the video. So right, we're at the end of the video now. So if you did enjoy, I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and also hope you all enjoyed my new intro at the start of the video, and I hope that you all rate the intro. So if you did enjoy today's video, do give it a like. Also, do subscribe to the channel, as I'm on 69 subscribers and I'm on the road to 70, which is only one more away, so I'm sure you can soon hit it all eventually. So, and also turn on your notifications so whenever I make a video, you'll all know when I'm making a video, so it'll all be easier for you then, so you won't have to flick through all of my videos because there's so many of them now so it just makes your life easier. Until then, guys, hope you all have a good one. I'm off to watch Watford versus Middlesbrough, the first championship game of the 2020-21 campaign. I bet the rest of you will be tuning in. Until then, guys, hope you all enjoyed. Bye, guys.